All right, we're live. Let's have a great class tonight. Let's get it started. All right, we got a special. We have a special class tonight. Let me let everybody in that's waiting. Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome. All right, if you've done your 2 miles, put winner in the chat. Put winner in the chat. Just remember, I told you that winners commit and winners finish and winners make a way. Put winner in the chat. Good job. If you didn't make it yesterday, welcome today. It's never too late to get started, all right? So never think it has to be perfect. You didn't start out on Monday or you didn't make orientation Sunday. Don't worry about it. All you need to worry about is showing up now because we're going to build a foundation for long-term weight loss, right? Long-term health. All right. And so I'm going to give everybody a couple more minutes to get online and then we're going to get started. But if you're listening to this and you haven't done your miles, go do them now while we do this class, right? Don't make excuses or reasons. Find a way. Make a way. Winners make a way. Winners make commitments. Winners see it through. People that don't hit their goals, they make excuses. They make reasons they can't show up, right? And they find reasons they can't show up. If you want to consistently keep staying in the same cycle of losing and gaining the same weight, then you'll keep on starting things and not finishing them. But if you want to finally be done with the same cycles of losing and gaining the same weight, you have to practice the habits of a winner, right? You have to show up. And if you can't do all of the work you're supposed to do, you do it ugly. What does that mean? You do a part of it. You can't do 2 miles, you do a mile, right? You can't do a mile, you walk 2 minutes after every single meal. But whatever you do, you have to practice the habits of a winner because in order to reach your goals, that's the attitude you have to take. Does that make sense? Let me get a yes coach in the chat. Let me get a yes coach in the chat. Now, shout out to everybody that might be watching us on live, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Welcome. I wanted to make sure everybody was able to get this message today that wasn't able to make it yesterday. Did everybody get the reminders via text and via email for the class tonight? If you didn't get it via email, check your spam. We're going to be in your spam. And if you haven't got access to the challenge, then, I mean, that's an issue. I'll drop it in the chat before the call's over. But for tonight, we're going to be talking about something that I think is a lot of people are interested in and want more information on. So let's get into that. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to get started. And the people that are coming in late, they'll just miss the beginning, but it does pay to be on time. It does pay to be on time. All right. So can everybody hear me good, see me good? Can everybody hear me well and see the screen? Can I get a yes? Can I get a yes, no, maybe so? Okay, perfect. Who's ready to have a great, productive class today? Who's ready to stay motivated, stay informed, and stay consistent? And who's ready to break out of the cycle that they've been in for the past couple of years? How long have you been trying to lose weight? Put in the chat. 1 year, 5 months, since you had kids, 10 years, your whole life. All right, we're going to set a foundation for health. And I also, one of the biggest things that keeps people from reaching their goals is the shiny object syndrome, right? Shiny object syndrome is when you keep seeing new things, new medication, new diets, right? New fast. And instead of staying on the straight and narrow and doing the things that you know works, because maybe you don't know it works, you keep trying new thing, new thing, new thing, new thing, right? And so what happens is you end up in this revolving door of not hitting your goal. Has anybody experienced that? You start one thing, you don't finish. Oh, it didn't work. I'm gonna try keto. Oh, that didn't work. I'm gonna try this medication. Oh, it didn't work. I'm gonna try carnivore. Oh, it didn't work. I'm gonna try to go vegan. Oh, it must be the meat. It must be because I'm lifting weights. Lifting weights is making me gain weight. I'm gonna just do cardio, right? You're just guessing. You're just guessing. So the point of the challenge is to take all the guesswork out so you know exactly where to focus your energy. And so you can have the facts from the fiction. Okay? So today we're going to talk about GLP-1s and your fat burning foundation. So maybe you don't know what the term GLP-1 is, but you've definitely heard of Ozempic. You've heard of Wegovy. These are GLP-1s. Let me get it. Does that make sense? Right. So if you didn't know what they were, they're classified as GLP-1s. All right. And so this is what everyone should know before they decide to get on this medication. And all we're going to talk about is the facts. So I'm not going to give any opinions. I'm going to give you what the research tells us, the good, the bad, the ugly, because the truth will set you free. All right. And so why does this even matter? All right. Why does this even matter for your journey? Well, you're here because you want sustainable weight loss and that actually lasts, right? Let me put yes in the chat if that's why you're here. And so maybe you tried everything. Maybe you're starting fresh, or maybe you're wondering if GLP-1s are the missing piece. So let's get real about what these medications can and can't do for for your long-term success. All right. Bottom line, up front, GLP-1s can be a powerful tool, but they work best when you've already built the foundation we're creating in this challenge. Who has tried one of the GLP-1s before? Ozempic, Wegovy, tirzepatide, right? Who has tried one of these GLP-1s, right? And you're still here, which makes you know that they're not magic, right? It's not magic. It can be helpful, but it's not magic. So let me make sure that you are informed tonight on what they really are, and how they can impact you. So first, let's get clear. What are GLP-1s really? So 2005, GLP-1 receptor agonists originally developed for type 2 diabetes. So the origination for the medication wasn't for weight loss. Weight loss was discovered as a side effect during the diabetes trial. So they started noticing that people were losing weight when on the medication, but the medication was not originally developed for weight loss. And so in 2014, the first GLP-1 approved specifically for weight loss was Saxenda. And then 2021, Wegovy approved, revolutionizing weight loss treatment. And so the discovery literally came from studying lizard venom. And researchers found that Gila monster venom contained a compound similar to human GLP-1, but much more stable. So we took a little bit of nature and we combined it with, a lab. And here we are, right? Pretty crazy. And so here's the good. Why women are seeing real results, weight loss that actually works. So it is proven that GLP-1s actually work, right? They actually do work. So within about a year, you're going to see about 50% of your body weight come down on semaglutide like Wegovy or Ozempic. So if you're, and this is on average, right? If you're 200 pounds, that's going to be about 30 pounds, right? Tirzepatide is going to bring you down about 18%. So that's like Manjaro, Zepbound. And this is the averages, y'all. This is the averages. Does it mean it's going to be your situation? Could be worse, could be better, depending on some of the stuff we're going to talk about later. So 18% would be about 36 pounds if you're 200 pounds. And then liraglutide, which was the original developed, drug for GLP-1s, it's going to be about 6%. So it's going to be like 12 pounds. So that is the averages they're going to see over years. So that's the good. We know that for a fact they do help you lose weight. They can aid in it. And so how do they support your fat burning foundation? So they're going to quiet food noise. That constant mental chatter about food gets quieter, making mindful eating easier. Does anybody have that food noise where it's always like, oh, I need to go eat this, I need to have this? It's just so hard for you to fight the cravings and your desire to eat things that you're not supposed to be eating and focusing on. Is that you? Put me, coach, in the chat. Right? Natural appetite control. So you feel satisfied with appropriate portions without willpower battles. Breaks binge cycles, right? A lot of you are binge eaters. You might not classify yourself as a binge eater, but if at each night, right, you are going crazy, eating uncontrollably, you eat dinner and then it's a high fat processed dinner, so you eat a little bit more later, right? You're in these crazy cycles of binge eating. You might not classify yourself as that, but you are. And then habit support. So it makes it easier to stick to your nutrition plan consistently. All right. So we work with women that have been on GP1s and got off, women that wanted to stay on them, women that have done all types of things. It's a tool though. So it can help. But if you don't have the right foundation, then you're not going to lose this weight and keep it off for good, right? There's a bunch of people that have tried the medication. If it was a magic bullet that was going to change everything for you automatically, then you wouldn't be on this call, right? You would have already lost all the weight and you'd be fine. So there's something missing. Even when people get like weight loss surgery, they can gain it back. Why? Because it's not a long-term solution, right? Everybody put in the chat, lifestyle change. That's what we're looking for. So here's some of the beyond scale victories that you might experience. Improved blood pressure, cholesterol, and potential heart benefits beyond weight loss. Insulin sensitivity, so better blood sugar control and insulin function, even in non-diabetic. So this is really good if you have PCOS, or you have some hormonal imbalances, or you're insulin resistant, of course. And then reduced inflammation, so lower inflammatory markers throughout the body, supporting overall health. So I wanted to show you, in comparison to the drugs, one of our clients, Latifa, she dropped 100 pounds in 8 months, which was 27% of her body weight. So even though she didn't take any GLP-1, she didn't take Ozempic, Wegovy, any of those things, she actually outperformed all of the drugs by having the right foundation, right? So having the right foundation and the right mindset, but also the right structure, is going to always be more powerful than taking a medication and hoping for the best. Does that make sense? Right? The only way you're going to see this type of transformation is to be all in. So let's go back to the top and let's look at the averages, right? On average, within a year, right, you're going to drop 15% on a semaglutide, 18% on tirzepatide, and 6% on liraglutide, right? So she's outperformed all those by at least 10% by having the right structure, the right mindset, right? And then she was all in, right? So having that winner's mindset that you're going to commit, right? You're going to make a way, and you are going to finish, because winners finish. Put in the chat, winners finish. Now, she had all the reasons to actually take the GLP-1s, and she would have actually qualified for taking this medication. She had PCOS, right? She had diabetes, right? And she had high blood pressure. So she went to the doctor, and she was at her heaviest weight, 370 pounds. So if she went to her doctor would have definitely qualified her for this medication, but she didn't use any of the medication. I'm not telling you to take it or not. What I'm telling you is that the most important part of making this transformation is having the right conviction, the right information and concentration, right? And the right consistency. That's actually the most important thing, because with our system, she outperformed them by 10%. All right. So you have to have the right focus and concentration. Now let's talk about the bad. What you need to know before you consider them. Side effects are common, especially for women, right? So some of the more common ones is going to be nausea, diarrhea, constipation, acid reflux, and feeling constantly on the edge of being full. These are very, very common side effects, right? And then some things specifically for women is you can't take it during pregnancy, must stop 2 months before trying to conceive. It may affect menstrual cycles initially. Some women forget to eat. So it can help you, of course, to eat less, but you still need to eat. You're still alive. You're a human, right? So you still need to make sure you are eating, so that you can ensure that you're taking care of your body, because your body does need food. And then just the financial piece, right? So cost breakdown can be $350 to $500 monthly, often for life. Because remember, ladies, the way that you lose it is the way you keep it off. Put in the chat. The way you lose it is the way you keep it off. If you heavily rely on medication to get the weight off, you're going to have to heavily rely on it to keep it off. All right. So you want to keep that in mind. Insurance battles. Many plans don't cover for weight loss, right? And supply shortage. Even if you have the money, and even if you have it covered for insurance, there could be a supply shortage, right? So response variability. 10 to 20% of women don't lose significant weight. Individual variation is huge. So you'll always see like the outliers. The people that are like, oh my gosh, I dropped 100 pounds in 5 months on Wegovy, right? But you're not going to see the hundreds of women that are going to go, I didn't lose any weight, right? And then with PCOS and insulin resistance, you may see different results. So there is some variation, but again, we're going to talk about what is the most important thing later if you want to see massive change, right? We're not here to help you drop a couple of pounds. We're here to see massive change, a complete lifestyle overhaul, complete lifestyle transformation. So I'm going to teach you how to do that. So here's the ugly, the hard truths about long-term use and the weight gain reality. So weight returns. About 2/3 of lost weight returns within the first year of stopping GLP-1s. That's just the averages. This is not my opinion. This is the fact that we've seen from people that take them. So to spend all this money and time and effort just to gain it back within the first year would be really frustrating, right? Especially if you don't give yourself the right tools. And that's why I created the 70 challenge. Whether you're going to take them or not, within the 70 challenge, we're learning the proper foundation for long-term healthy life, right? And so weight gain typically begins within 8 weeks of stopping. That's pretty crazy, right? 10 weeks. I mean, within 8 weeks, that's a really short time frame. That's 2 months. So this is where your foundation matters most. Without the habits you're building right now, you become dependent on medication for appetite control. Everybody put in the chat, foundation, right? If we're here, we're live, we're on, make sure that you are participating, right? Because what you say, see, and do, right, is what you become, right? So we have to make sure we start to internalize the things we're talking about today, or you're going to stay in the same cycle. Everyone that's on this call is on this call because they recognize they need help, right? So you need to make sure that you're participating and getting involved so you can renew your mind and break out the cycle. Now, serious risk in Ozempic face. So serious but rare risk. So what I want to make sure is clear is that this is very rare, but it's still a real thing. So I want to make sure that you're aware of it. So pancreatitis and gallbladder issues, thyroid concerns, kidney problems in some cases, and eye issues. Very rare, but emerging concerns. As we've seen some of the posts coming out with people saying that if they lost their eyesight after taking Ozempic, the Ozempic face phenomenon, which would happen even if you didn't take Ozempic. It would happen if you were just losing weight at a rapid rate. If you were just starving yourself, it'd be the same effect. Rapid weight loss can cause facial volume loss, making some women look older. This is more about the speed of weight loss than the medication itself. So it's not that the medication is going to make you have Ozempic face. It's that the rapid weight loss that you're going to experience is going to cause you to have Ozempic face. Does that make sense? And so because a lot of times people are not eating, like, okay, so what we're doing right now in the 70 challenge is we're setting a groundwork of, okay, we're in a controlled caloric deficit, but we're still getting in our nutrients. We're getting in quality of food. So we're still getting in protein, carbs, healthy fats, vegetables, fruits. Good foundation. We're doing daily movement. A lot of times people will get on these drugs and they don't eat at all, right? Malnutrition. So now you're just starving yourself, and that's not good, right? So you want to make sure that whatever you decide to do, we have the right foundation. So if you are going to choose GLP-1s, here's the foundation first approach. It's what you want to do before you focus on adding any medications consistently, okay? Master nutrition fundamentals first. Protein targets, meal timing, hunger and satiety cues before starting medication. So everything we're doing in the 7-day challenge, you want to master that before you go on medication, because if you master it, and let's say you decide to go on medication, you're going to have, one, better results, and then two, an easier time transitioning off. All right. Everybody put in the chat, foundation first. We're going to build sustainable movement habits. So if you want to see the best results, we had to follow the foundation that we're talking about in the 7-day challenge. What are we doing in the 7-day challenge? 2 miles a day to keep the belly fat away. We're doing 2 miles a day to keep the belly fat away. So you want to make sure that, one, we're doing our walks, right? Even if we talked yesterday and I told you, how many miles should you be walking after a meal? I mean, not miles, excuse me. How many minutes should you be walking after a meal? Let's say you can't make it to do your 2 miles a day to keep the belly fat away. 10 minutes, 15 minutes. That's going to allow us to see a tremendous change in our overall life, right? Because you got to think over the course of a year, 10 years, right? Being that consistent, it compounds and it pays off. And also our weight training. How many days a week should we be weight training, right? If we want to lose this weight and keep it off for good. All right, I love it. I love it. That means that y'all were here yesterday. And develop stress management skills, right? So this challenge is teaching you these crucial long-term success tools, getting more rest. This is key, right? And then creating accountability systems. So this challenge is community, coming to the live calls. We have coaching, continuing coaching, staying connected with others that are on the same journey as you, because we're going to talk about this probably tomorrow or one of the days this week. But most people that lose weight, they gain it back in 5 years. So still having that community and support in place is super key. And it's going to also help you not get distracted by the shiny objects. We don't want to get distracted by the shiny objects. All right. And so what you want to do is not look at GLP-1s as a solution to your problem. What you want to do is look at them as a tool to amplify what you're already doing right. So if you're not already losing weight, and you're not already having a good, exercise routine, it's not time to just go, okay, let me hop on this medication and see what happens. If your attitude is, let me see what happens, you're already on the wrong path. And that's what a lot of your attitudes is. Let me see. No. One, start after habits are established, right? I know some of you are on it right now and you're like, I'm figuring it out right now. Okay, well, it's better for you to try to figure it out now than to just keep trying to rely on the medication by itself. So use medication to support, not substitute the foundation you're building. Practice mindful eating. Use the quiet food noise to develop better eating awareness and skills. So you shouldn't still be eating Cheetos and Taco Bell and Chick-fil-A all the time just because you're on the GLP-1. Use that to develop better eating habits. Eat higher quality foods. Eat fish. Eat your salmon. Eat your healthy fats. Eat your avocados, olive oil. Eat, your high fiber foods. Arugula, spinach. Broccoli, asparagus. Eat your healthy, slow digestive carbs, sweet potatoes, quinoa, brown rice. Focus on shifting your focus onto those foods. Now that you have some support from this medication, don't keep eating French fries and think just because you're taking the medication, you're not gonna gain any weight, because you still will gain weight. It doesn't negate you from gaining weight. It just makes it easier for you not to eat the wrong things consistently. Does that make sense? Still hit your protein goals. We should be trying to get, you know, let's just say, I'm going to generalize it, 30 grams of protein at each meal if you're eating 3 times a day, at least, right? At least. How much protein should we be eating first thing in the morning? First 90 minutes we wake up, how much protein should we be consuming? I love it. Y'all were here. Y'all are paying attention, right? And then you want to focus on nutrient density. So since you'll eat less volume, make every bit count nutritionally, right? So these are things we want to focus on. Long-term success and strategies, okay? Research shows that women who maintain weight loss after stopping GLP-1s share these characteristics. One, they have a supervised exercise program. So combined medication with structured progressive fitness routines. So working with a program like ours, a lot of the women that come to work with us, they either are transitioning off of GLP-1s or they're on them and they want to be able to maximize the results. Professional nutritional guidance, right? That's what you're getting in this program right now. Work with registered dietitian through treatment and beyond, right? So getting very clear on what you should be doing nutritionally is very important, because again, if you're just taking the medication and still doing the same habits, as soon as you get off of it, you're going to gain all the way back. Like that's what you're going to become a statistic. And we don't want to be a statistic. Regular self-monitoring. So practice tracking weight, food intake, and mood patterns, right? One of the things I always say to our clients is track what you lack. Put in the chat, track what you lack. So if you're struggling with your weight, if you're struggling to eat properly, if you're struggling with your workouts, you should be tracking it. You should be weighing yourself daily. I know for some of you, you've made it an emotional thing because like the scale's not moving. The scale isn't moving because you might only be weighing yourself, but you're not tracking your food. You're not tracking your exercise. It's not making sure you're getting enough sleep. And you're not tracking your portions. There's two things we got to focus on in nutrition. Who remembers what they are? They're inside of our program. They both start with a Q. What's the two things we got to focus on? Who knows it? They start with a Q, both of them. They're in your program. There we go, right? Quality, no, not quality over quantity. It's quality and quantity, both of them. You need both. Quantity is the caloric deficit. It's going to be the amount of calories you're consuming on a daily basis. Quality is going to be the types of food you're eating. So a sweet potato versus French fries, right? Which one's going to be higher quality and more nutrient dense? A sweet potato, right? That is what we're focusing on. You know, having some fried chicken from Popeyes versus maybe some air fried chicken. What's going to be more nutrient dense? Air fried chicken. Okay? That is what we want to focus on. We want to focus on both, though. And you have to track them. You can't say, I'm going to make better eating choices. No, you need to know how much calories you consume. You should be able to look back and say, okay, over the course of the last week, I had this much calories on this day, this much calories on this day, this much calories on this day. I walked this many miles on this day, this many miles on this day, this many miles on this day. Pay attention to yourself, because we have research that supports that if you weigh yourself every single day, people that weigh themselves every single day, even if they don't follow a clear nutrition plan or a program like we're doing the 7-day challenge, they still lose weight. Why? Because they're more aware of their current situation, so they make better decisions. The only time that you see people put on a significant amount of weight is when they avoid weighing themselves, right? Some of you only know your weight when you go to the doctor semi-annually. Am I right? And then you're shocked. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I gained so much weight. Well, if you would have weighed yourself at least once a week, you would have been aware of how much weight you were gaining. And you would have made some better decisions. But what happens is when you start gaining weight, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to see that. It makes you sad. So then you avoid it. Avoidance, right, is a prerequisite for massive weight gain. You'll never gain 100 pounds weighing yourself every day, because reality will be hitting you in the face. It might hurt your feelings, but you'll be like, okay, I'm tripping. I need to get myself together. Right? It's like when you go out on the weekend, you go on a vacation, you know you overspent, so you don't want to look at your bank account. It doesn't negate the fact that you overspent. It doesn't negate the fact. It just, you want to live in ignorance is bliss, so you want to live in ignorance, but the damage is still there. It's the same thing with your weight. The damage is still there. So you decide to wait 6 months for your doctor to tell you what you should have already figured out 1 weekend to gain weight. So if you check your weight every week at least, oh, I gained 5 pounds. Okay, I'm doing too much. Let me fix this. But if you wait 6 months, you know how much weight you can gain in 6 months? Do not practice avoidance, right? The only time you put on massive amounts of weight, and you guys can all attest to this, is when you ignore looking at the scale. If you look at the scale daily, even if you're not losing weight, you won't gain weight because you're too conscious of what's going on. You're like, okay. I got to make some changes, right? Track what you lack. Track what you lack. That's a life principle. And then strong social support. A lot of times, someone will do a challenge at detox and they're like, oh, I'm good. I got it. They feel good because it does leave you feeling good. When you feel the 7-day challenge, you're going to be at a high because you're going to feel really confident. You're going to feel really great. The mistake a lot of times people make is they go off on their own too soon. Like I said, most people gain the weight back in 5 years. So even when our clients lose all the weight, we wanted them to stay in the community and at least attend the live coaching calls each week because it's so easy to fall back and gain that weight back. Now, I don't got to prove it to you because I know if you're here, you probably lost weight before and you gained it back before, right? Put a yes, coach, in the chat. You have lost weight before and you gained it back. So I don't have to prove to you that it's a fact. You need to have continued support, right? You got to have continued support. It's important to have a community. It's important to have a guide. A coach is just a guide. Now, do you need someone to check on you every single day? Probably not, but do you still need a weekly wake up, a weekly check-in? Yes, even when you hit your goal. Yes, even when you hit your goal, because people need to be reminded more than they need to be taught. People need to be reminded more than they need to be taught. You know that you need to go do your workout. Sometimes you need to hear somebody tell you, go do your workout. You're like, you know what? You're right. Some of you got on here today and you didn't do your walk yet, and you're going to go do your walk. Why? Because I told you to go do your walk, and you've seen other people say that they did their walk. So being in a community where you're like, oh my gosh, these women are the same as me. They all did their walk. I'm making excuses. Coach called me out. I felt that. He's right. And if you're one of the people that's watching this 7-day challenge, because people do this every single time we have a 7-day challenge and not actually participating, but you're just watching it because you don't feel prepared, you are the problem when it comes to your goal. Do it ugly. Put in the chat. Do not watch the 7-day challenge. Watch all the other women drop 3 pounds, 2 pounds, 5 pounds, 7 pounds. Make progress. And then you message me at the end like, oh, okay, when's your next challenge? I think I'm finally ready now. No, you're ready right now. You had the time to watch and listen to us. Why did you just walk while you were listening? Do it ugly. Do it ugly, get sexy, okay? All right. So GLP-1s versus your fat burning foundation, right? The science, when researchers give people the exact same caloric deficit. So I'm going to summarize this. If you're on a caloric deficit, you're doing all the foundational stuff properly, you are going to lose more weight if you're on a GLP-1 because your metabolism's not going to fight you as hard and it's going to be easy to make right decisions. But someone that is on having the right foundation and not on a GLP-1, they're going to outperform you every single time because a GLP-1 doesn't fix or create the foundation or the blueprint for you dropping this weight. It only can help amplify it. Okay? Even with like supplements only support what you're already doing well. Okay? So it doesn't matter how much protein you're eating. If you're eating in a caloric surplus, you're not going to lose weight, right? It doesn't matter how much medication you take. If you're still eating a caloric surplus and eating terrible food, you're not going to lose weight. So if you are going to be on GLP-1, you might as well get your money's worth and maximize the results you can get by following the foundations that we're focusing on in this challenge, right? And we're cutting through all the noise. I haven't mentioned a diet yet, right? What are we focusing on? A prescription of daily movement, a prescription of quality and quantity foods, right? And community and sport and consistency. The 3 things you need, right, to be consistent, to hit any goal is 1, you need to have structure, right? Structure is as a schedule. Right now, we're having a class at 8 p.m. every single day. You have a predictable time frame. You know you're going to check in with me. That's the same way everything in your life needs to be. Anything that's important has a time associated with it. Then we need to have a plan of execution. What am I actually going to do? Okay, when I go to the gym, what am I actually going to eat? Right? That's what we're doing in the challenge. And then you need to have community and accountability so that you actually follow through because the amount of consistency that you need to have in order to hit your goals, a lot of people don't understand how much it really takes. So when you're facing these ups and downs, you want to quit because you're not familiar with winning. But winners know the path is always rocky, but you got to get through it. We got to make a way. Put in the chat, make a way. Right? So whether you decide to take it or not, I showed you a couple of our clients already. They all outperform GLP-1s. So the most important thing is having the proper foundation because with the proper foundation, you're gonna lose weight twice as fast as someone taking this medication, and you're gonna have clarity so you don't get distracted by the shiny object online. right? Because there's always something shiny. So here's the bottom line for your long-term success, right? GLP-1s are not magic pills, but they're not cheating either. They're powerful tools that work best when combined with the exact foundation you're building this week. The women who succeed long-term understand that sustainable weight loss is about systems, not quick fixes. Systems. I talk about systems a lot because it's all about what you can do for the next 10 years, not for the next 10 days. Anybody can starve themselves for 7 days and lose weight. That's not impressive. Okay. Can you lose this weight and keep it off for 10 years? That's impressive because then you would beat the statistics. And most people become statistics, unfortunately. Why? Because they don't follow the foundation we're building today. But if you follow the foundation we're building today, it's impossible to gain the weight back. Impossible. They build their foundation first, right? It doesn't seem as sexy because it's a little bit slow. But one thing they taught me in the military when I was in the army is slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Wait, slow is smooth, smooth is fast, and fast is sexy, which means take your time. Do it right the first time. Doing it right the first time is the fastest way, right? Well, my mom, when we were younger, said, just do it right the first time. You think you rushing, and now you got to do it again. My mom make us do it all over again. Nope, do it again, all over again. Now, if you would have did the first time, maybe it took you 30 minutes to do it the wrong way. But now it's going to take you 2 hours because you got to do it again, right? Because you decided to do it the wrong way the first time. But if you took an hour and do it right the first time, it's a shorter path. Just like anyone that ever tells you they got a shortcut somewhere, and it's never a shortcut. It's always oh, my bad. I thought I didn't know this road was blocked. I didn't know that this was going to take us here. And now you got to go all the way back to the starting point, right? You done missed your exit. You got to go all the way back around and get right back on where you was already at. Now, if you just did the right way and took the normal route, you would have hit your goal, right? Don't take shortcuts. Shortcuts never pay, right? Doing it the right way always will pay. It doesn't look as sexy, and you won't see as many people doing it because most people don't want to do the hard work. Most people don't want to build a foundation. They want it fast, and that's why their results won't last, right? They want it fast, and that's why their results won't last, okay? They focus on health and energy, not just the scale, and they create multiple strategies for different life phases. So we talk about this all the time with our clients. When you're traveling for work, is it my travel for work, whether it be flight or you're a truck driver or you're a traveling nurse, whatever the case may be, it's going to look different when you're at home and when you're on the road. You got to have strategies for both. Okay, we work with a lot of accountants. The last week of the month is a crazy week, right? For my accountants, that week might look different than the other weeks, but you still got to show up in some capacity. Maybe you can't do 60 minutes, but okay, boom. This is my crazy week. I can only do 30 minutes in the gym, but I'm gonna make it happen. I'm still gonna show up, right? I'm still gonna make it happen. Okay. I gotta fly this week, which means that I need to make sure I exercise before I fly, because if I wait to work out after I fly, I know I'm not gonna get it done because that's my pattern, right? Pay attention to yourself. Always front load what's important first. So, okay, you fly at 6 p.m. that night. Don't pretend you're gonna work out when you get there. You're not, right? Make sure you work out that morning. Bring food with you to the airport, because the airport is one of your triggers that cause you to down spiral out of your goal. So let me bring food with me. Yes. Prior proper planning prevents poor performance. Yes, you can bring food to the airport. You can get it through TSA. I travel a lot. You can do all those things. Are you willing to take that extra step to be successful? If you want to hit your goals, you will. There's nothing in that airport that is worth the money because it's cost twice as much what it's supposed to be paid. And that's going to fit into your goals. So you bring your food with you. A lot of y'all don't want to hear that, right? A lot of y'all in the airport, y'all drinking, y'all eating, but that is the thing that causes you to go in a down spiral. You do good for a couple of weeks, and you have to travel for work or for leisure, and then you gain the weight back, and then you down spiral. Traveling isn't the issue. It's what you do when you get back. You never get back on track. Put in the chat. You're not liking that, but I'm just telling you. Prior proper planning prevents poor performance, right? So your 7-day challenge is teaching you the most important skills: how to eat for sustained energy, how to move in ways you enjoy, and how to manage stress without food. Remember, y'all, you shouldn't use food as a stress response or reward. You're not a dog, so you don't need a treat just because you did something good, right? Find other ways to reward yourself and find other ways to deal with stress. One of the great ways to deal with stress is exercise, and that's what we're doing now, right? And how to create lasting change. So whether you use GLP-1s or not, these are the skills that will determine your long-term success, right? And I showed you our client, Josephina. She dropped 50 pounds in 5 months, which was 27% of her body weight. So I'm showing you our client success because I want to show you that you don't have to take medication to see extremely impressive results. And I want to also show you that medication doesn't guarantee it, but if you decided to, if you combine the right system that we're teaching you right now with what you're doing, you're going to see extremely, extremely impressive results, right? But we got to focus on the long term, right? And we got to be all in. Put all in the chat, everybody. Put all in on the chat, right? And so that was the end of the presentation for the night. Hopefully that informs you. My goal here is that you're informed, right? So you can know the good, the bad, the ugly. But what I do know is I've been coaching for a long time. And what I know is this. In order to see lifestyle change that lasts, we have to have habits that we can sustain. And that's it. We talked about this yesterday, building a house on solid foundation versus building a house on sand. If you build a house on sand, as soon as something crazy happens, it's a busy week, vacation, Christmas, your birthday, that's a storm. When it rains, the sand's going to get mushy. The house is going to slide away, right? That's what happens to you because you have a weak foundation. With a solid foundation, very solid, concrete, right? When it rains, nothing happens. You're good. Why? Because you have the right material. That's what we're building in this 7-day challenge. We want to build a foundation that we can stand on through any storm, travel, tragedy, emergency, crazy weeks at work. If we have the right foundation with the right tools, right, and we can block out the distractions, we can change our lives, right? We have to practice the habits of being a winner once we have the right plan. Now, the 7-day challenge isn't the end all be all, but it is your foundation. Anytime you're too busy to follow something that might be a little bit more intensive or detailed, you fall back into the 7-day challenge. Okay, what is my principles? I know at the very least for my nutrition, I need to focus on quality and quantity, meaning I need to control my calories that are coming into my body and actually track them. And the quality of the foods that I'm eating, they matter. I need to focus on making sure I'm getting in whole foods majority of the time. My movement, I might not be able to go work out and do a crazy workout or go to CrossFit or do this or that or go to Orange Theory or Pilates, but I know I could do my 2 miles every single day. And at the very least, I could do a mile a day. At the very least, right? At the very least, I could do jump rope for 10 minutes. If I'm down at my worst, I could get 10 minutes of walking after each meal. These are your foundational things. I know I can do my affirmations. Drop the affirmations in the chat for today. I want to see if y'all pay attention. 1 week on drop. I'm capable of doing hard things. Put that in the chat. I'm capable of doing hard things. Put that in the chat, right? And I want to see who's looking at their 7-day challenge workbook. And I want you to put in the chat what it is. What is the affirmation today? You know that you can keep your daily movement, quality and quantity of food, and do your affirmation, right? And stay in a community. Staying in a community is key, right? So I'm proud of everyone that's here today because you could have been anywhere else. We had a lot of people that signed up for the challenge. And we understand everyone has different schedules and different things they have going on in their life. But I also want to recognize that you showed up today, right? You made the time, whether you're at work, whether you're on the couch, whether you're watching TV, whatever you're doing, you made the time for you to be here, which is super important, right? It's very important because someone else didn't. And like I always say to our clients, if you're someone that actually makes a decision and follow throughs with it, right? You made a decision and you actually follow through with it. You're a part of a small percentage of people because most people never do what they say. Most people talk about what they're going to do with other people that don't do what they say, and they have great conversations, and you get an endorphin hit. You feel good. You get some serotonin release from talking about the things that you're going to do. No, this is a fact. You literally will get that same feeling of accomplishing your goals simply by talking about it with some, oh girl, I'm about to start working out. I'm about to start following this diet. Yeah, I've been doing this. And they never follow through, so they never become. This time around, shh, we're not going to talk. We're just going to walk. We're just going to get it done. No more talking about what we're about to do. Just do. That's the one thing Nike got right. Just do it. Shh. I'm telling you. And then because if you talk too much to people about what you're about to do, they start giving you unsolicited advice, and they're not professionals, right? They're not professionals. They might be overweight themselves. And just because someone has lost weight doesn't make them a professional, right? It doesn't make them a professional, but congratulations. So you want to block out the noise and you want to be able to just stay focused, stick to the plan. When you hit your goal, then you can talk about it. Hey girl, I dropped 100 pounds. Stop saying you're about to drop 100 pounds. I dropped 100 pounds. I dropped 10 pounds. I dropped 20 pounds. I dropped 30 pounds. I dropped 40 pounds. Notice it's already done. It's past tense. It's past tense. It's very important that you change this about yourself. Stop talking about what you're about to do and just do. You got the opportunity right now to do. Become a doer, right? Winners commit, Put in chat. Winners commit, winners make a way, and winners finish. I didn't say nothing about winners talking. That is what people that lose do. They're talking all the time. And that might have been you. Just talking to your coworkers, talking to your family, talking to your friends, and y'all are having the best conversations of your life. And it feels so good, but you never hit your goal because you never finish. So this time around, keep all that in actions. You should be judged by your actions always, right? I'm someone that believes that so much people will talk you in circles, you'll talk yourself in a circle, and it's so convincing. But the reality of the situation is you should be judged by your actions. When people come to us and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm not losing any weight, I'm listening to you. I'm listening to you tell me a story. And then I'm going to ask you, okay, let's look at your fitness pal. Let's look at how much you worked out over the last month. Because in our clients, we track their exercise, right? Let's look at how many coaching calls you came to. I don't care about what you're saying because you're going to give me the best version of what you think it is. Oh, I've been eating good. What does that mean? I ask inquiring questions. What does eating good mean? Did you weigh your food out and prep it on Sunday for the week so that it's measured out and you ate accurately? Or are you making good eating choices, meaning you ate a salad with your food so you feel like you were eating good? These are the questions I have to ask. And this is what you got to ask yourself. Be real with yourself. Oh, I don't know. I'm not losing weight. Well, how much do you weigh? Well, I think the last time I weighed myself when I went to the doctor 3 months ago, I was 360. I was 250. You haven't been weighing yourself. How would you start losing weight? How could you ever start losing weight without knowing your starting point? These are simple things you got to start to think about. Break out of the victim mindset if it's not happening. Figure out what you're not doing. Because at the end of the day, what we help our clients do is figure out what they're not doing properly. That is all. Anyone that's on this call can lose weight. Okay, you lost weight before. So losing weight isn't the issue. Getting to your goal, meaning you're consistently seeing weight loss, might be the issue, and then keeping it off is the issue, right? So we got to figure out what part of the system that you're following is broken so we can fix it. So you're not a victim. It's not impossible for you. You could be 60, 70, 50, 40, 30. You can have PCOS, hypothyroid menopause. I've been coaching for a long time. I've seen it all. We've helped every person that has these different conditions, high blood pressure, diabetes. We've helped all these different women. The one thing they had in common is they had to change their mindset to a winning mindset. As long as you have the mindset of, I can't lose weight because of this isn't working because of this, or you just don't understand. Maybe I don't understand. Do you still want to lose weight in spite of everything you're struggling with? Yes or no? Do we still want to lose weight, even though we got high blood pressure and diabetes and we got our knee hurt? Do we still want to lose weight? We got PCOS, got hypothyroid, going to menopause. Do we still want to lose weight? We're 60 and it's hard than it was when I was 20. Do you still want to lose weight? You had kids and it's harder. Do you still want to lose weight? Your job's making you work at night. You work a night shift. You're working every day. Do you still want to lose weight? So what do we got to do? Make a way. We got to find a way, right? That's it. At the end of the day, we got to find a way, right? So winners win. It's me and my sister always mess each other, because we're running up right now. I'm about to turn 30, so I'm doing 30 miles on my birthday, and my sister's training for a marathon. And every time we finish a run, we say winners focus on winning. Why are we saying that? Because we know what we're doing is hard. It doesn't feel good, but we're not going to talk about how hard it was. We're just going to talk about that it's done. When it's done, I send a text to her. She sends a text to me. Winners focus on winning. It's not that it's not hard. It is hard. I ran 14 miles yesterday. Then I had to get up and run 8 miles a day. I didn't want to do that, but I did it. And I sent it to my sister. Winners focus on winning. That's your mindset you need to have. Maybe it hurts for you to do 2 miles. Winners focus on winning, which means what? Get it done. Maybe it's tedious for you to prep your food, but it doesn't matter if you want to hit your goal. Winners focus on winning. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. So if you focus on the good, what do you get? Where your focus goes, your energy flows. So if you focus on the good, what do you get, ladies? What do you get if you focus on the good? We get good. If we focus on good, okay, I'm tired, but I got my 2 miles done. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself. I tell myself all the time, oh, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself. I feel like a winner. I'll be and when I'm in the midst of it, when it's challenging, when my legs hurt, what I'm telling myself is I'm a winner. I'm a winner. I'm a winner because I know I'm a winner is synonymous with I am going to finish. If I say I'm a winner to myself, that means I know I'm going to finish. I have to finish because a winner characteristic. That's what you got to focus on, right? If we focus on the bad, what do we get? Bad. So if we focus on, I can't lose weight, I can't lose weight, I can't lose weight, guess what you're not going to do? Guess what you're not going to do if that's all you focus on? You're not going to lose weight. I can tell you that. No one can help you lose weight until you go, I can lose weight. I'm capable. And then you take self-accountability. I want you to ask yourself 3 questions before you decide you can't lose weight. 1, can I go back and look at all the food I ate this past week and was it all tracked? Not meaning that you put a portion inside a fitness pal. That if you ate salmon, you know how much salmon it was because you put it on a food scale at some point. If the answer is no, if you're eating handfuls of food and you don't know the portions, but you're guesstimating them, if you were drinking liquids, but not tracking them, right? If you can't say yes, then it's not a fact that you can't lose weight. The fact is that you're not tracking what you lack properly. Yes, it might take more effort than you wanted to. That's why prior proper planning is important. If we do our cooking on Sunday and it's prepared, then it's already done for the week. Then all we got to do is eat. Make it as easy as possible to make the right decision. Make it as easy as possible to make the right decision. That is the key. Make it as easy as possible to make the right decisions. That is the key to this. So if my food's already prepped for the week, it's easy for me to make the right decision because my food's already done and prepped and portioned. If I gotta prep my food when I'm already hungry, or I gotta weigh my food when I'm already hungry, am I gonna do that consistently for a year? No. Make it as easy as possible to make the right decision. Prior proper planning prevents poor performance. If your food isn't done, it's Tuesday. You worked a full day, you worked 12 hours, and you had to go get your kids, or you had to go get your grandkids. Then somebody cut you off on the road, and you stressed out, and you still got to work out. Do you think you want to sit there and weigh your food on a scale? No, I don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. But if it's already cooked, it's going to make it so much easier to go, let me eat my right food. Because some of y'all will meal prep and still not eat the right food. I'm just saying, I've been doing this a long time. Some of y'all will meal prep and still not eat your meal prep. You still go out to eat. Or you'll eat your meal prep and eat more stuff, right? But at least give yourself the chance to be successful by being prepared. And this is what I'm going to end on. The very least you could be in this life is prepared. You can be bad at stuff, and the worse you are at something, the more you need to be prepared. If you're on this call, that means you recognize this is an area I'm not good at. You might be the best nurse in the world, the best accountant in the world. You might be the best mom in the world. You might be the best pastor in the world. You might be the best person at customer service, the best, whatever that is. But this area of life, you're not good at, which means you need to prepare, right? You need to prepare. The food needs to be done. You need to know what your workout is. You got to have your schedule laid out. When you're going to travel, you got to know when am I going to work out. Make sure my hotel or my Airbnb is near a gym. Make sure there's a gym inside. That is what you got to focus on. Prior proper planning prevents poor performance. That's the last thing I'm going to say tonight because we got to meet tomorrow and it's already almost 9 o'clock. So everybody in the chat, I want you to drop, I am a finisher. I want that to be nailed into your head by the time you finish this. And I want you to also pay attention to how much better you're starting to feel already from orientation and now, if you've been coming on the calls, how much better do you feel here from listening, being in community, having the right instructions and having a guide, right? How much better do you feel? We're only on day 2, but some of you already feel the difference of, okay, I'm starting to feel a little better. Mentally, I'm starting to feel better. My stress level is going down a little bit. I'm already starting to see some inches come down. And I want y'all to do this. Some people wait until day 7 to weigh themselves. Don't wait till the end. Weigh yourself every day. You need to start to track what you lack. See if what you're doing is working. Is the weight going to go up and down a little bit? It might, but over the course of 7 days, I want you to pay attention because you can also start to see, oh, like if the weight goes up 0.5, it's not really a big deal because on day 5, I still was down weight. But if on day 2, you're up 5 pounds, we know we're not doing something right. Right? Someone asked how much ounces of fish can eat meat or chicken a day. Go through day 0. Go to day 0. I emailed Nia. Is it Nia or Naya? I emailed you back. I sent it to you on here, and I emailed you. So check your email, please, because it's been sent to you multiple times, and I emailed you myself, so I know it was emailed to you. It wasn't one of my assistants. So I don't know. I can send it to you right now again, but I think that you might be missing it because it's been sent to you multiple times. Right? I want you to get in there. I promise you. I promise you we send it to you. If you're not getting messages, then your email might be full. I'm not sure, but I promise you that we sent it to you multiple times at this point. So I can send it to you again right now. while we're on live. But I want to drop the challenge link inside of the chat in case for some reason some of y'all might have just came on because you got the invitation via text or email, but maybe you haven't actually got to see your challenge. So let me share that now. Now, is it Nia or Naya? Let me know if I'm saying it right. But I just dropped it into a chat with just me and you. So just click on the link and you'll have it. Okay. But it was sent to you again. So message me when you see it on here on Zoom, not on Instagram. I didn't send it to you on Instagram. I'm not gonna send y'all anything on Instagram. Nobody from my team is gonna send you anything on Instagram. Email us if you need help. Let me send the. If you already have the link for the program, then you're good to go. Be blessed by the best. Have a great night. If you need it, stay online. I'll drop it in the chat so you can have it because I want y'all to have this. The link has everything you need. It has access to the there's the private community and then the VIP community are different, right? VIP community is on Telegram, and then the private community is on Facebook. Okay, so if you need the general program, I just put it in there, and it's in the chat, right? If you were for some reason didn't make it to orientation, didn't see it in your email, I want to make sure you have it. I dropped it in the chat right now. Copy and paste it somewhere. It has 3 things in there: a link to join the private community, that's for Facebook, access to your challenge workbook, and then access to the live coaching call. So anytime you have a live coaching call, if for whatever reason you have trouble getting in, all you got to do is go to your link for the program, and it has the link to the meeting already embedded inside of it. So I'll share what that looks like if you're someone that didn't have it. Is anyone that was missing it, put me coach in the chat. If you didn't need it, if you're good, just sign off because we're done with the call. I want to make sure that the people that might need help stay on. I want to see who might need help. Also, if you do want to work with us 1-to-1, you can reply to any of our texts with the word private, or you can DM us the word private on Instagram. I open up 4 spots in our 1-to-1 program each week. You'll be able to book a call with me or someone. Well, no, it'll just be me this week. So you'll be able to book a call with me, and we'll be able to talk more about your goals, right? So I'm not going to really answer any questions here. If you DM us the word private or text us the word private, you'll get a message. They'll have the link, all the information, and then if you want to book a call, you can book a call there. Other than that, I dropped the link for the challenge that we're going through right now. I've dropped it inside of the Zoom. Copy and paste it. I'm going to stay on for about 2 more minutes so that you can copy and paste it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Winners win. Let's have a great evening. If you're in VIP, make sure you check. Matter of fact, I'll pull up the VIP link right now. Check out your VIP link. There's a link to get into the Telegram inside of VIP. If you're a VIP and you haven't got access to the VIP stuff, then message us at team at bullfitnessonline.com. You don't see what link? It's in the chat. Once I drop it, are you in Telegram? And if you're a VIP, that's where the VIP community is. So if you go to your VIP link, who's VIP that paid to be VIP? Put Mikos in chat. If you're not inside of VIP, I'll get it to you right now. Okay. And none of y'all are in Telegram? All right, no problem. So if you have access to do you have access to your VIP challenge? Because if you do, you have access to Telegram, but it's okay. I will send it to you. Either way, it's fine. I'm messaging it to you right now. I do know everyone that joined VIP. You downloaded it, but didn't see any activity in it. But did you join the group?